So taking a look at this next one, what we want to do first, before we get, caught up in any of the numbers and details, it's really about understanding the goal. So my party people, if we're here saying, hey, how many hours does the trip take? When we think of that, you don't want to think about operations too quickly. You first want to think about, what are we trying to find? What is the representation of what we're trying to find? Everyone, when we read this, it says how many hours, not how many miles, not what's the speed, just hours. What is hours representative of? Time. Yeah, we need to find time all the way. So with that, I'm going to mark that. Boom, we're looking for a time period. But this doesn't immediately mean that we're doing a distance rate time problem. The giveaway for the distance rate time formula is right here in this first sentence. A truck hauls cargo 207 miles, that's a distance, at 46 miles per hour. That's a rate. This right here is what gives it away that you're dealing with distance, rate, and time. You have distance, then here's your rate, and you're looking for time. Once you can identify the three elements, that's when you're good. That's when you know you're dealing with DRT. So enough talk, let's go ahead and set things up. Distance equals rate times time. And we are going to place the values that we have in the right places. Now pay attention, if you're refreshing on this topic, this is very important to make sure you don't place the wrong values in the wrong places. The 207 miles, that is distance. That is right here. So I will replace distance with 207. And then rate, well, that's 46 miles an hour, and that's what I'll replace that with right there. I'll leave the T as time, no problem. And now when we look at this, everyone, I'm not sure that we're going to be multiplying to get our answer. We're actually going to be doing what? Yeah, solving equations, working backwards. We're going to be dividing. Because again, I know for sure that I see multiplication, but to get time by itself, I have to get rid of the multiplication, which will end up being division. So divide by 46 on both sides. Nice and easy. And we're good to go. Well, maybe not so much if you don't like long division. So let's go ahead and go through this exercise here. We have 46 going into 207. And so if you need to kind of guess and check, kind of trial and error, hey, go for it, absolutely. Some people might think that it's going to be times 5. Well, let's just go ahead and double check that. So if I do 46 multiplied by 5, 6 times 5 is 30, carry the 3. And then we have 4 times 5, which is 20, carry the 3 is 23. Everybody, is 5 the right number here, or do I need to go lower? Yeah, 5 is not the right number. That's too high. 230 is way too high. We're trying to get up to 207. All right, we're trying to get up to 207, which does not work in this case. So what I'll do, and again, this is something that happens common. It commonly happens. Run with it, take it on the chin, and keep trying. So 46 times 4, let's see what that's going to be. 6 times 4 is 24. And then 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 2, that gives us 18. So 184, that absolutely works. I will go with the 4 right here, and I'll subtract the 184. My leftover, 7 minus 4 is 3, 20 minus 18 is 2. And now what I'll do, everybody, we're not done. We're not going to leave a remainder. We have to go ahead and keep pressing by attaching the decimal where it belongs, and then we'll put a 0. For those of you that might be confused on this, this is no different than saying $5 is the same as $5.00. Those zeros are always there. So this is a good thing to use when it comes to long division. So with that, we'll drop that 0 right over here. And from here, everybody, 46 going into 230. What might that be? What might that be? Yeah, that's going to end up being 5 because we actually did the work already. And we saw that 46 times 5 was 230. So we can absolutely use that here. So I'll place that 5 right there at the end, boom, and we'll subtract the 230, and that makes a clean division where the answer is going to be 4.5. And because we're looking for time, we have 4.5 hours. And so that's where our correct answer here, my party people, is B, 4.5. Next problem up, and we're going to tackle this with the same grace that we have been, starting with the question sentence first. So here it says, how many meters of fencing does he need? So we're not explicitly told really anything. We're just told how many meters of fencing we're going to need. So hold that thought, everybody. We're going to really highlight that. How many meters of fencing? So here's a tip. Don't try to solve the problem by just reading the question sentence. We need the rest of the information too. If you're hung up on that and they don't give you a specific math word, just take a little mental bookmark and go ahead and look at the information. So what do we have? We have a farmer that needs to put fencing around a rectangular field that is 22 meters long and 13 meters wide. So let's think about that, everybody. Let's think about what we're actually trying to do here. I have a rectangular farm here. Okay. And we have this, we have this rectangular fence. Okay. And we're trying to put fence around the rectangular field. So I want to put it from here to here, from here to here, from here to there, and lastly from here to there. Everybody, what's that word that's escaping me, that specific geometry term that describes the distance going around a shape? What is that term specifically called? You might just have it in your notes. Yeah, perimeter. We're looking for the perimeter. This is a great example where they don't have to explicitly tell you, hey, find the perimeter. All we said was, oh, we're talking about fencing around a rectangle. That should give away, or that should be enough that, yeah, we're dealing with the perimeter. Again, because we are going around to make a fence. We're talking about distance here. So in that sense, let's write that formula. We have 2 of the lengths here and here, so double the length plus double the width, and our formula is complete. So with that said, let's plug in what we have. We see we have 22 meters for the length, 13 meters for the width, and I'll plug those values in. Perimeter equals 2 times 22 plus 2 times 13. When I continue the math, we have 2 times 22 being 44, 2 times 13 ending up being 26, adding 44 and 26. That makes a 10 right there, carry the 1. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. So this ends up becoming the perimeter is 70 meters. And that'll give us answer choice B is the correct answer. Not answer choice A, because that's the area, and we were not asked for the area. It is answer choice B, 70 meters.